Welcome to episode 9 of If Adoptive Mama Ain't Happy podcast. Today is a very important episode because it's very, very common. I've worked with many, many moms and dads that do not agree on how to discipline the kids, and it can cause a lot of confusion for the children, but also a lot of conflict for mom and dad, and it can disrupt their marriage and so many aspects of the family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 3 steps to getting on the same page as your partner with discipline. So I look forward to this episode with you. Come on in and let's get started. Disagree on how to discipline. I'm going to share with you 3 steps to getting on the same page. You join together in holy matrimony, and now you have an adopted child to raise together. The problem is one of you may be too strict or too lenient. Your spouse may accuse you of either being too hard on the kids or too soft. How do you harmonize your parenting styles to be effective? Well, I'm glad you asked because some tactical steps are on the way. Step 1. Decide on the behaviors both of you expect and write them down. Brainstorm the behaviors that drive you both the most crazy. Does your kid hit others, make a mess and not clean it up, speak disrespectfully or argue when you give them instructions, throw a tantrum when you tell them no? Write them all down. Based on that brainstorming, I want you to create 3 to 5 behavioral expectations to share with your child. 3 is good for younger kids, but you don't want any more than 5 for older kids. The brain likes these numbers. Don't use don't or sound super negative. If your child doesn't read yet, draw pictures or print out pictures from the internet to show what each expectation looks like. So here's an example of some expectations. Keep your hands and feet to yourself. Touch gently. Put your toys in the bucket when you're finished playing. Speak kindly to others. Follow instructions without arguing. Accept no without throwing a fit. Step 2, share these expectations with your kids and practice. Show them exactly what each of those behaviors looks like. Take turns role-playing the right and wrong ways to follow the expectations. Have fun with this and be silly. I want you to say the expectations daily as a family before you leave the house for the day, if at all possible. When expectations are not met, always refer to the one they didn't meet and ask them how they should have responded. That visual representation of the poster is going to be really, really helpful because you can simply point at the expectation and review it. Step 3, come up with consequences you both agree on. Make sure the consequence matches the severity of the violation. Grounding them for 3 months for hitting their brother is a bit much, right? So simply saying, "we don't hit," is not a consequence. So let's talk about step 4. We'll talk more about consequences later. Step 4, validate whatever feelings your child is expressing if they start to melt down when you discuss the expectation they didn't meet. Stay calm or you will be in a losing battle. Take several deep breaths. Identify what they are feeling. For example, I can tell you're really angry that you lost the iPad for the next 30 minutes. Identify at least 3 reasons they are upset. You're angry because you lost the iPad, because your brother was mean to you and that's why you hit him, because you think I'm being mean to you. Keep validating their feelings until they are calm. Don't even talk about the consequences until they are calm and able to be logical. When they're really acting out, they are in what I call downstairs brain. No logic is coming through. It's fight and flight. So the next step, model an apology. This is what an apology looks like. "Brother, I'm sorry I hit you. I should have told you I was mad or asked mom for help instead of hitting you." Have them practice the apology. Have them issue the apology after you've modeled it and they've practiced it. Most importantly, parents, don't give up. Be consistent. You have to stick with this for a while to see results. If you find that an expectation isn't working or your child is having a hard time consistently following it, revise the expectations together. You're a team and the kids need to know you will not be divided and conquered. So Those 3 steps are so important, and they're really, I know it's a lot of work up front, but I promise you it helps. I did these with my kids, and it really helped because not only did they have that visual representation of the poster, they also knew that it was going to be practiced and reinforced. And you also want to make sure that you stick with it. So if you and your husband come up with a consequence, make sure you follow through on that consequence so the child learns that, hey, mom and dad aren't messing around. They really take this seriously, so I better change my behavior. So you gotta be consistent, okay? Again, don't give up, because it does take a while for new things for kids to learn new things. I was a teacher for many, many years, and I know from experience that children need repetition. And it may be really annoying for you to do the same thing over and over and over again, but kids really need it. In order to internalize the behaviors, they have to practice them over and over and over. So try these out, and please let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear how this went for you. You can contact me at my email address, which is ligia@faithful-futures.com. You can also email me any parenting questions you have. I'd be happy to answer on the show, with or without your name attached. But I'd also love it if you would go to my website, www.faithful-futures.com, and I have a way for you to sign up for my email list so you can be notified of exciting things that are going on, like a course I'm developing for Christian adoptive mamas. They go deeper into the things that we discuss in the podcast. So you're going to have a really good one-on-one experience in a very small group cohort to be coached on specifically what you need for your adopted child and family. So you can sign up there at the website. There's also a 7-day devotional for Christian adoptive mamas who are very busy. That is free, and that is also on the website. There's also a Facebook group there's a link there to my Facebook group for Christian adoptive moms that's becoming really a lot more active. It's very supportive, and I have so much fun in that group, and I would love to have you there. So one more time, www.faithful-futures.com for all that fun stuff. I look forward to, having you back next week for episode 10. And I just want to, I want God to bless you. God bless you for you answering the call to adopt. Jesus loves you, and so do I.